Burning Question, presented by Nissan Magnite, powered by Amity University and Century Ply.
Rebel Shiv Sena Minister demands Uddhav to break from MVA, says the alliance with the NCP and Congress is hurting the Hindutva position. Eknath Shinde demands Shiv Sena to ally with the BJP, wants Fadnavis as the chief minister. Sources say Eknath Shinde has said to the Shiv Sena that he will not compromise on Hindutva. Sena envoy Milind Narvekar, who was sent to Surat to pacify Shinde, briefs Chief Minister Uddhav on meeting with Shinde. High-level Maharashtra Mahavikas Aghadi Alliance meeting to take place shortly after the Chief Minister's residence. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar to also attend this meeting. Union Ministers Bhagwat Karad and Rao Sahab Danve Patil, both hailing from Maharashtra, are said to be in Gujarat in wake of the MVA collapse. And as the MVA barakas continue, all 44 Maharashtra Congress MLAs have been called for a meeting tomorrow morning. Well, hello and welcome, viewers. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and you are watching The Burning Question. And what else to discuss? What else to discuss apart from is literally the Mahavikas Aghadi, this alliance is crumbling. It's crumbling like a cookie. Those building blocks, those toy blocks, it's literally falling down piece by piece. And every passing hour, ever since late last night, viewers, and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Every passing hour, a new news coming. The numbers have increased. It started with 11 late last night. It's gone to 30 plus 5 independent. If sources within the BJP are to be believed, it's touching between 39 and 41. But if I go with the numbers, viewers, it's 22. There were 22 signatories of the Shiv Sena who signed in favor of removal of Eknath Shinde. That means that Uddhav Thackeray still entertains the support of 22 MLAs. But is that enough? No. No. Sena leader and cabinet minister Eknath Shinde, along with around 30 Sena MLAs, flew to Gujarat a day after the BJP won 5 of the 10 seats in the legislative, that is the MLC elections. Hours later, he was removed from the post of party group leader. Why? Uddhav Thackeray knows the answer. But all possible efforts are being made to bring him back. Sources claim Eknath Shinde has demanded that Uddhav break up with the NCP and Congress and go back and arrive with the BJP. Can that even happen? Some say it can. Some say cannot. But as speculations over the existence of the present state government continue, viewers, we ask if Sena failed to read the writing on the wall. This was happening in Maharashtra under the nose of the leadership of the MVA and no one knew. That's how smoothly Eknath Shinde was able to do it. And that's politics. And that's why he is calling the shots. Whether Shiv Sena would want to accept or not, whether Sharad Pawar, the senior most leader in the MVA, may raise his hands and say, it's not my problem. It's Shiv Sena's issue. Let them solve it. I'm not going to get into it. But at the end of the day, he understands what exactly happened last time around. What exactly happened when Ajit Pawar and Devendra Fadnavis got into an alliance. So it's not only Shiv Sena which is feeling the pressure. We need to understand, if the cookie crumbles, it crumbles completely. And NCP may not, just may not, might also be completely untouched. Let's listen into this report and then have a full panel to debate.
Two back-to-back debacles. First Rajya Sabha elections and then Maharashtra Legislative Council polls. And again the Uddhav Thackeray-led MVA government was caught unawares today.
हमारे लोग वहाँ गए थे दो, एकनाथ शिंदे जी से बातचीत हो गई। एकनाथ शिंदे हमारे बहुत पुराने साथी हैं, एक अच्छा रिश्ता हमेशा हमारे दोनों का रहा है। उनकी कुछ बातें हैं, जो बातें मिलिंद नार्वेकर और रवि फाटक आकर उद्धव जी से बात करेंगे।
When Sena's leader and Maharashtra Urban Development Minister went incommunicado with several other leaders, rebelling against Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, allegedly demanding Shiv Sena to ally back with the BJP, that Devendra Fadnavis must lead the BJP-Sena alliance with Shinde as his deputy. The jitters were contagious while Sainiks huddled at Varsha, CM's official residence.
Narayan Rane, Union Minister, has said that out of 55, only 35 MLAs are with Uddhav Thackeray. He says out of 55, only 35 MLAs are left with Uddhav Thackeray, and that the Chief Minister must step down. He's a Union Minister, Narayan Rane, saying that the Chief Minister must resign because he doesn't have the support of his own MLAs.
Uddhav sending his aide Milind Narvekar to Surat to pacify Eknath Shinde. The other allies of the MVA put the onus of unity of government on Uddhav Thackeray, and Congress denying any defection in its camp.
तो सर्व काँग्रेस पक्ष या ठिकाणी इंटॅक्ट आहे आणि काँग्रेस पक्षामध्ये काही गडबड नाही। आम्ही सर्व एकत्रित आहोत, सर्वांशी संपर्क झालेला आहे। अनेक लोक आपल्या गावाला पोहोचलेले होते, काही लोक दिल्लीला आम्हाला आंदोलनाला निघायचं होतं, त्या ठिकाणी पोहोचलेले होते, ते पोहोचत आहेत, हळूहळू येतील।
But with numbers clearly against Uddhav Thackeray and MVA, and Eknath Shinde's outright refusal to make peace, is it the end of the road for this unusual alliance in Maharashtra, or just a power tussle in Sena? Let's debate.
Well, absolutely, viewers. And I have a full panel. I have Binay Singh, political analyst, with me. I have Devendra Pai joining in from Mumbai. Subhash Jha, advocate, joining in from Mumbai. Vivek Shrivastava joining in from Delhi. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist from Delhi. Dushyant Nagar is in studio with me. And I have Prafulla Ketkar joining in. Prafulla, I want to start with you. Prafulla Ketkar, the way this has been done, firstly, politically speaking, it was done under the nose of all the top brass of the MVA. That's how smoothly Eknath Shinde was able to do. Eknath Shinde must have had some support from Delhi. That's what the perception is in the political circles. Otherwise, this would not have been possible. But BJP, unlikely, like we've seen, this time around, they have taken a step back. They want things to precipitate. They just don't want to jump in. They want to see how exactly the dust settles down. And then they will act. At least that's the perception which we are getting. Prafulla Ketkar, I begin with you.
See, Aishwarya, there has been a contradiction, internal contradiction in this alliance, and it was bound to, come out in the form of some kind of crack, either within Shiv Sena or Congress. And we have seen recently in the Rajya Sabha election as well as now yesterday in the Legislative Council elections. There has been a strong perception within core Shiv Sena voters that Shiv Sena has been compromising with the core ideology of Hindutva, the Marathi Manus, and anti-Congressism. That perception is actually personified by people like Eknath Shinde, who are considered as the soldiers. See, what is the stronghold of Shiv Sena? Shiv Sena is there in Thane Konkan region. Who is the main contender there? What is the fight, that Shiv Sainik is fighting on the ground? It is against the NCP. Now, if NCP is in the alliance and Shiv Sainik is fighting on the ground against NCP, NCP is the biggest beneficiary of this alliance. Shiv Sena is the loser. We have seen three core issues. Like we have seen the gruesome murder, lynching of sadhus in Palghar. We have seen Shiv Sena kept mum. Just imagine what would have been Shiv Sena's stand if Shiv Sena was in opposition. Two, we have seen the way Shiv Sena had to keep mum. The way Congress insulted Savarkar time and again. It was Balasaheb Thackeray who said, I have learned Hindutva from Savarkar. That Savarkar has been insulted time and again by Congress. Shiv Sena had to keep mum. On Gyanvapi, it was said that it is being stoked to violence. There is a frustration within Shiv Sena, and you can understand.
Prafulla, I'll only say one thing. Vivek, I'm coming to you. Vivek Srivastava, I'm coming to you. Ashutosh Mishra, I'm coming to you. Dushyant Nagar, hold on. मैं आ रहा हूँ आपके पास. Dushyant, hold on. Dushyant, your name doesn't mean that you'll just start speaking, sir. Hold on, I'll come to you. Hold the horses, sir. I'll come to you, Vivek. First, Vivek. Let's just agree. Vivek, let's agree to disagree. Vivek Srivastava, let's agree to disagree. This was an unusual alliance. You cannot deny it as much as you would want to. This was an unusual alliance, like it was of the BJP and the PDP.
Because
it was an unusual. It still is. It still is. Vivek. Only Vivek.
For Vivek Srivastava and his party.
Now let's start.
At one point, Shiv Sena was the party
at the time of emergency. Shiv Sena was one of the parties that supported
let him speak. Prafulla, let him speak.
I do not know if Mr. Prafulla Ketkar knows it or not. Okay, so if you follow the lineage of Shiv Sena, Indira Gandhi ke time pe there was an alliance and Shiv Sena supported the concept of emergency, supported the Congress party. Later on, they started, acting against the South Indians who were working in Mumbai. That is what the agitation was all about. Then they moved into the Hindutva politics. So it has been a transition on and off, just like any other political party. So today they are in alliance with the Congress and NCP. That is how it has to be looked at. So the alliance itself is totally intact. The Shiv Sena did benefit. Mr. Ketkar is saying the Shiv Sena did not benefit.
No, if you still call it an alliance,
Shiv Sena has a chief minister.
No, Vivek Srivastava, you would want to call it an alliance. Yes. I'll say what exactly is happening. Yeah. Only 22 MLAs, and I'm going by the signatory. I am not going by the reporters. What our reporters on ground are saying, because the numbers were he was dwindling 15, 16, 19. I'm saying there were 22 signatures. Vivek, now hold on. Binay Singh, there were 22 signatures on that letter. That means out of 54, 55, there are only 22 supporting Uddhav Thackeray, and the rest are in favor of Eknath Shinde.
Not let the Shiv Sena.
That's the reality. Vivek Srivastava, now you listen. Thank you, Binay.
Aishwarya, you just asked.
Vivek, hold on.
You just said that why the government, Vikas Aghadi government, they were not able to smell what was going on. So the answer is.
That's the reality. They were not aware what's happening.
Why this happened? This happened
because they don't have their claws to the ground.
No, this happened because when power is blended with arrogance, it seizes your capacity to see, to smell, to hear.
No, are you saying there was no communication?
There was no communication, and because the power that was blended with arrogance.
Dushyant Nagar is speaking in English, and I would really want to get one word from him today. For the first time, Dushyant Nagar, you just commented in English, and I really liked it. But Dushyant Nagar, ये एक असलियत है.
Absolutely wrong.
Why Dushyant Nagar?
And fall टोटल झूठ बोल रहे हैं.
किस लिए?
इससे बड़े जो हमारे संपादक जी थे, उन्होंने तो झूठ की पूरी कहानी सुनाई.
प्रफुल्ला केतकर जी क्या रहा?
अरे शिवसेना तो शुरुआत शिवसेना की कहां से हुआ?
What's wrong? उन्होंने क्या गलत कहा?
कोई हिंदुत्व से शिवसेना का कोई लेना.
भाई एकनाथ शिंदे कह रहे हैं, एक वही एकनाथ शिंदे जिनको बाला साहब ठाकरे अपना राइट और लेफ्ट मानते थे.
सिंधे आए, नारायणे आए, कितने आए, कितने चले गए. उद्धव ठाकरे और ठाकरे परिवार का जो महाराष्ट्र में लोगों के हृदय के अंदर प्रेम है, जो उन्होंने सेवा का कार्य किया है, उसको कोई नहीं भुला सकता, ना उसकी कोई जगह ले सकता. ये पिछले चोर दरवाजे से सत्ता पाने की साजिश है, जैसे कर्नाटक और मध्य प्रदेश में किया है. अब की बार ये विफल होने वाले हैं.
दुष्यंत भाई, you are making
विफल होने वाले हैं. ये मैं आपको लिख के दे रहा हूं भाई साहब.
That don't follow the ideology of
हिंदुत्व आप लोग अपना रहे हैं, लोगों को अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. आपने आपने उद्धव ठाकरे जी के साथ में
2.5 साल
की मुख्यमंत्री देने का क्यों नहीं दिया? अरे प्रफुल्ला जी, आप कर रहे हैं हिंदुत्व की बात। हिंदुत्व के जो सबसे बड़े लीडर थे बाल ठाकरे जी के पुत्र के साथ तो आपने विश्वासघात होने दिया, तब तो आप नहीं बोले। अब तो आज आप बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं। सत्ता अकेले चाहिए और लोगों को
प्रफुल्ला
एलआई बनाइए, उसके बाद उनका काम तमाम कर दीजिए। ये कार्रवाई चल रही है।
भैया
बताइए
प्रफुल्ला केतकर जवाब दे रहा है। प्रफुल्ला केतकर जवाब दे रहा है आपको।
अरे
दुष्यंत नगर होल्ड ऑन, दुष्यंत नगर होल्ड ऑन, होल्ड ऑन।
अरे होल्ड ऑन, लोकतंत्र
कंट्रोल,
टुकड़ों
दुष्यंत नगर कंट्रोल।
अरे भैया कंट्रोल।
प्रफुल्ला, आपसे पार्टी कंट्रोल हो नहीं रही, आपसे आपके विधायक कंट्रोल हो नहीं रहे। आप जो कर रहे हैं, आप सिर्फ राहुल गांधी के लिए आंदोलन करना जानते हैं। आप सिर्फ राहुल गांधी के लिए आंदोलन करना जानते हैं। आपकी नाक के नीचे अंडर योर नोज इट वाज हैपनिंग इन महाराष्ट्र एंड योर लीडर्स डिडंट इवन नो दुष्यंत नागर। दैट्स द रियलिटी दुष्यंत नागर। प्रफुल्ला केतकर, आई विल कम टू यू, बट इफ आई कैन जस्ट गो टू देवेंद्र pai and Ashutosh Mishra. Devendra Pai and Ashutosh Mishra, one versus one, please. Thank you.
Well, you know, the government, first of all, Prafulla. Understand.
I have just one question for
Carry on.
दुष्यंत जी, वो सब छोड़ दीजिए। शिवसेना का हिंदुत्व सच्चा, बीजेपी का वो देख लेंगे, आपस में संभाल लेंगे। आप ये बताइए, कांग्रेस का तो फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस चंद्रकांत हंडोरे थे, अनुसूचित जाति के उम्मीदवार थे। 10वीं सीट के लिए दोनों कांग्रेस के उम्मीदवार को सेकंड प्रेफरेंस के लिए लड़ना पड़ा। ये क्यों हो गया भाई? कैसा अलायंस है ये तो समझाइए किसी को। किसकी शादी में नाच रहे हो आप?
धर्म में सब अंदर की बातें
और ऊपर से हिंदुत्व पर ज्ञान दे रहे हो मुझे।
तो दलितों को कमजोर
भैया 87 में प्रमोद महाजन और बाला साहब ठाकरे की जो मीटिंग हुई थी, उसके स्वयं मैंने मिनट्स देखे, मुझे पता है किस तरह का अंडरस्टैंडिंग हुआ था। लोकसभा की
स्वर्गीय श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी को अपना आदर्श मानते थे और उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने कांग्रेस के साथ गठबंधन धर्म निभाया।
सोनिया गांधी को
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
सोनिया गांधी को भ्रष्टाचार का पुलिंदा किसने कहा था?
से वो मुख्यमंत्री बने।
सोनिया गांधी को भ्रष्टाचार का पुलिंदा किसने कहा था?
आपका षड्यंत्र है, ये विफल होने जा रहा है।
सोनिया गांधी के खिलाफ सबसे ज्यादा आवाज किसने उठाई थी?
ये देश के लोग।
अरे भैया वो छोड़ दीजिए ना, मैं बीजेपी के षड्यंत्र की बात ही नहीं कर रहा हूं।
जिस प्रकार से आपने,
अरे भैया आप अपने एमएलएस को संभाल नहीं पा रहे हो, इसमें षड्यंत्र कहां से हो गया?
प्रयास करके गलत तरीके से सत्ता को कब्जाया है, ये ठीक नहीं है।
मैंने सवाल किया ना आपको, चंद्रकांत हंडोरे आपके
नीतियों की वजह से घूम रहा है।
पहले पसंद के उम्मीदवार थे या नहीं? कांग्रेस के पहले उम्मीदवार कौन थे? चंद्रकांत हंडोरे थे।
कितने दिन से लगातार
क्यों हार गए?
नेताओं को परेशान कर रहे थे। ऐसे चलता है लोकतंत्र। अरे इस तरह से कांग्रेस
चंद्रकांत हंडोरे उसकी वजह से हार गए। चंद्रकांत हंडोरे उसके वजह से हार गए।
क्या किया कांग्रेस के?
देवेंद्र भाई आशुतोष मिश्रा, होल्ड ऑन नाउ दुष्यंत नागर, थैंक यू। देवेंद्र भाई आशुतोष मिश्रा, I'll only say one thing. There was something clearly massively wrong.
Moral ground.
Whether it is communication problem, no, hold on. Whether it was communications issue, whether it was an issue of access, otherwise a leader to the life of Eknath Shinde would not have done this. Would not have done this. Yeah.
No,
Devendra Pai and Ashutosh Mishra. Yeah.
So Aishwarya, what I was saying is, first of all, we need to realize that neither the Shiv Sena nor the Congress has absolutely no moral ground to claim the government in Maharashtra. The government was formed against the wishes of the people. The people of Maharashtra had voted for BJP Shiv Sena alliance with Devendra Fadnavis as the face of the chief minister. The government was formed unnaturally, opportunistically. This was to happen one day or the other. People were just waiting. Aaj hoga, kal hoga, parso hoga, and in the political circles in Maharashtra, ये तो बात चली रही थी. Ab Shiv Sena's credibility is at stake in this alliance with the Congress NCP because in the last decade or so, the Shiv Sena has always fought on the anti-Congress, anti-NCP plank. So this entire alliance didn't make sense to a common Shiv Sainik. I mean, ab Mumbai ke sadko pe chaliye and meet the people who have been Shiv Sainiks and they are totally disconnected. They cannot, come in terms with the fact that, today Shiv Sena is actually supporting the Congress NCP and formed a government, which is, taking a stand against chanting Hanuman Chalisa.
So, Aishwarya, why this had to ultimately happen is because Uddhav Thackeray had taken panga with Amit Shah and Devendra Fadnavis.
So this had to happen not because BJP had been chosen by the people. BJP did not have a majority on its own. So to say that BJP was the right,
BJP was the
tried
single
its
largest
trick,
party.
Fadnavis tried his tricks, was sworn in, lost fair and square. But BJP had to form the government because otherwise Amit Shah ki to naak kat gayi thi. And what you see here is the difference in Hindutva as practiced by Uddhav Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray is practicing an inclusive Hindutva. He believes in Vasudhaiva.
Ashutosh Mishra, you can say what you want.
BJP follows
It's easy to say. It's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. Subhash Jha, it's easier said than done. My only issue is kiski naak kahan kati, wo to dikh raha hai. It's very visible. Prafulla Ketkar, Binay Singh. But if I can just talk to Subhash Jha, it was happening under the nose in Maharashtra. All your MLAs, 30 MLAs and 200. Dushannagar, calm down. I can't shout over you 24/7. Dushannagar, calm down. Dushannagar, calm down. Dushannagar, calm down. Dushannagar, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Shanti, बोलिए ओम शांति. बोलिए ओम शांति. बोलिए. अब मैं आपको मतलब आलोम विलोम कराऊं? नहीं मैं कराऊं. आज योगा दिवस है, थोड़ा शांति कर लीजिए. थैंक यू. बट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग सुभाष झा, पूजा की ऐसे नहीं करते हैं. रिलैक्स दुष्यंतनगर, रिलैक्स. मैं ओम कह रहा था सिर्फ शांति के लिए. रिलैक्स सुभाष झा. रिलैक्स दुष्यंतनगर. सुभाष झा, माय ओनली प्रॉब्लम है they may say that iska naak, uska naak, wahan dikkat, yahan dikkat. But the real issue is, whose MLAs have gone out? Who only had 22 MLAs today to sign when there should have been more than 50? Who is about to lose the power? Who is in desperation that he has sent two of his closest envoy to a different state to meet a leader whom he was not giving time to meet for the last 2 months? Who? Mr. Jha? Subhash Jha.
Of Shiv Sena, they are left with now 55. And if out of 55, if Uddhav Thackeray could muster signatures of only 22 MLAs only, that speaks in volume of what is happening within the party. Now, the Shiv Sainiks have to really introspect amongst themselves to find out what has gone wrong. And therefore, if we believe the news, and which appears to be prima facie appears to be cogent, and it does inspire confidence that about Shinde has a support of nearly 30 odd MLAs, then possibly it is certainly not a good sign for Shiv Sena. And in the days to come, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, things are going to possibly we are going to see some upheavals in the state of Maharashtra.
Yeah, but I mean, you need to agree that there is a full interference. The way the Gujarat police stopped,
Vivek Srivastava Binay Singh.
The way the Gujarat police stopped Uddhav Thackeray's aide from meeting his own MLAs, in the hotel where they were residing, and the reason why all these MLAs came specifically only to Gujarat.
That's why I say half information is deadly. Half information is more harmful. Half information is more deadly. Vivek Srivastava. That is why I constantly keep on telling you, sir.
Why Gujarat?
Ghana, full information. They met.
Why not Bengal?
They happily met.
Kerala?
In fact,
why not Karnataka? Why not somewhere else?
In fact, Vivek Srivastava.
Because
in fact,
the Home
Mr.
Minister,
Srivastava,
the Chief
there was
Minister
a telephonic conversation on the phone call, on the handset of the envoy between the Maharashtra Chief Minister and Eknath Shinde for good 15 minutes. So no one stopped anyone. Carry on. But don't spill misinformation and half information. Vivek Srivastava, I literally request you.
No. I have full knowledge, sir. Why Gujarat? Gujarat kyun gaye? They could have gone to some other state. They could have gone to Bengal. They could have gone to Kerala. They could have gone to Karnataka. They went to Gujarat.
Oh, you want to decide?
That is
what can I do? If Eknath Shinde does not trust Vivek Srivastava, Binay Singh, what do I do? Binay Singh, what do I do? Viewers, can you tell me please, what do I do? If Eknath Shinde does not seek the advice of learned Vivek Srivastava to which state to go to, Vivek, what do I do? Vivek Srivastava, what do I do?
Honorable Home Minister of India.
Vivek Srivastava, Vinay Singh,
keep
what do
up
I
the
do?
constitutional
If
values of
Eknath
the
Shinde
nation.
does not ask Vivek Srivastava to which state to go to, what can I do? Yeah?
You just talk about trust.
No.
You know
Everybody
what trust
knows why
there was a
Gujarat-
support base for
everybody knows
Shiv
why
Sena.
Gujarat-
For 3 generations, people for generations after
Three generations they have been supporting Shiv Sena and they still do.
And what I'm saying, that Shiv Sena,
Hold on. Yeah.
the trust factor is not there in the floor of the assembly.
Yeah.
That Shiv Sena will be able to prove the,
No, that will
the
obviously
trust vote or
happen
not.
finally in
But
case-
it's a trust in
Bhai,
their
that
supporters.
will finally
It's
happen.
for sure
If
that
things
they have
do
now
not work out
supporting
well,
the
that will
support
have
base.
to be done.
And it's, I
There is
think
no
it's
running
an
away from
irreversible
constitutional
process. That is not going to be
Vivek, hold on.
reversed.
Vivek, hold on.
But all I'm saying
The
is,
Shiv Sena
Vivek, hold on.
have
Chief
lost
Minister of
their
Gujarat,
supporters,
Home Minister of our
base.
nation,
And why the
should
supporters
upkeep the
supported Shiv
constitutional
Sena?
Vivek, you can't
Because there
continuously
was an
speak.
ideology.
Frustrating.
There was
That's what
ideology.
I'm saying.
And that ideology is missing in Shiv Sena. This
What
Shiv
nothing?
Sena is really
What nothing, Dushannagar, Vivek Srivastava? If you are on air, it doesn't mean you will be constantly speaking. It's my request. The same problem आपके साथ है. नाम लेते ही ऐसा शुरू होते हैं, रुकते नहीं है.
गठबंधन में नुकसान
दुष्यंत
उठाया है
दुष्यंत
और भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने शिवसेना को छोटी पार्टी बना दिया, जबकि शिवसेना लीड
और आपने क्या कर दिया?
शिवसेना का सीएम होता था।
आप तो ना खुद रहे ना उनको छोड़ा. दुष्यंत आप तो ना खुद रहे ना आपने उनको छोड़ा. Neither you are there nor they.
मैं तो मुंबई
दुष्यंत नागर तो मैं नहीं
मुझे बात कर बता रहे
हाँ आप ही को बता रहा हूँ.
शिवसेना की सरकार
आप ही को बता रहा हूँ. ना आप रहे ना वो रहे.
Aishwarya, when Eknath Shinde says that I am the real Shiv Sena,
he says
that sounds
no,
good. That
it's not
sounds
real
good.
Shivsena. Real Shivsena is only
It really
Uddhav
sounds
Thackeray
good.
and Aditya Thackeray.
Why? Because of the last name.
He's on the ground. He's with the.
Why?
No,
Because of the last name. Is it?
Absolutely wrong.
Why? Because of the last name. Is it?
He is with the aspirations
Why?
of the supporters of Shiv Sena.
और नकली
the Shiv Sena
शिवसैनिक
voters.
चले गए.
I'm only no. I'm only saying. Are you calling Eknath Shinde a nakli Shiv Sainik? Are you calling Dushyant Nagar?
ठाकरे जी की है.
दुष्यंत नागर हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ.
जी.
क्या आप एकनाथ शिंदे को एक नकली शिव सैनिक बोल रहे हैं? उस एकनाथ शिंदे को जिसको बाला साहब ने चुना, उस एकनाथ शिंदे को
उद्धव ठाकरे जी माननीय
और आग लगा
मुख्यमंत्री
रहे हैं.
महाराष्ट्र के
ये तो
साथ विश्वासघात करने
महाविकास आघाड़ी में
वाला.
That is what my problem is. That is what my problem is, Devendra Pai. That is what my problem with the Congress is. Neither they have been able to do anything for themselves, Dinesh Pai, nor they have left Shiv Sena of any use. The way MVA has crumbled and is dismantling with every passing hour. There is a new video which is coming. I'll play it very soon. It's coming of the hotel. The MLAs are having a gala time inside. No one is holding anyone to a closed room or anything as it was being perceived, Vivek Srivastava. They're having a gala time inside the hotel because they are, or they must have been fed up. I don't know. Mr. Pai.
It's a big question mark on the choice of leaders promoted by the Thackeray family. Be it Sanjay Raut, Milind Narvekar, or including the Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, I don't think they enjoy the ground level support as much as Eknath Shinde enjoys. I mean, I'm pretty sure, Shiv Sena MLAs, including Eknath Shinde, would have been embarrassed by the actions of the Sena-led government, be it arresting the Ranas or arresting Marathi actor Ketki Chitade. अरे यार कहाँ जाती है तुम्हारी मराठी अस्मिता जब आप एक हार्ड वर्किंग मराठी एक्ट्रेस को अरेस्ट कर देते हो? And this particular act is, the Sena understands the importance of Eknath Shinde. It's not just one MLA or one minister who is resigning. Thane will go with Eknath Shinde. The Shiv Sena is going to lose Thane.
Let others also speak.
क्या शब्दों का प्रयोग किया है?
Let others also speak. Thank you very much. Ashutosh Mishra is replying. Yes, Ashutosh Mishra.
The problem with the likes of Eknath Shinde is that they have enjoyed power for quite some time. If he was so serious about Hindutva and this compromise happening, he would have rebelled then and there. Now,
would you say the same about Uddhav Thackeray, who enjoyed power with Devendra Fadnavis for the last 5 years?
He got a better offer from BJP.
Binay Singh Ashutosh.
The money power that BJP enjoys.
Binay Singh is countering him.
That they are enjoying.
Binay Singh Ashutosh.
And that is what is attractive.
Eknath Shinde has protested.
It's a Shiv Sena.
There were several instances where it differed from the new party line of Shiv
about
Sena.
Hindutva. He should have rebelled right at the start. If they think,
Yes,
if
yes,
BJP
he was
thought
damn
that
serious.
the people are with them,
And he has proved it several times.
and force
Even in the assembly also. He opposed to the proposal of
BJP
for the
is
reservation
a
of 5% of Muslims by Nawab Malik.
by hook or by crook.
And all the Shiv Sena are silent, including the
When you
CM.
say they are enjoying that
Nobody
gala,
opposed
where
him.
is that money coming from for all that gala hosting by BJP?
Sir, there was a
BJP
lot of
wants
communication
Maharashtra.
gap. Your health
Maharashtra is
minister
the
was not
golden
able to
goose
meet
that
the CM,
BJP
and that
wants
also in the time
for
of
its
COVID.
capital intensive
So this was
politics.
your communication.
BJP spends a lot
The
of
CM
money.
was busy in his son, in
how
his
much
dynasty,
they have been
in
crying
corruption,
over the
in
money being,
appeasement.
created in Maharashtra.
So,
That's
so
what
it
they
was
want.
a total
And that's
communication
what's
failure.
happening
It
here.
was a total communication
it's a
gap.
misuse of muscle power and
No, no.
money power by BJP. It's nothing to do with Hindutva.
No, Ashutosh Mishra, it's very easy for you to say it now. Lekin my only issue is Subhash Jha. With anything, I'll come to you. Subhash Jha, when he says there is nothing wrong, but by your logic, Mr. Ashutosh Mishra, the way you put that he enjoyed power for a while, but he has only done it. Okay, Prafulla Ketkar, by that logic, Prafulla Ketkar, why will an Eknath Shinde, who's enjoying all the perks, of being in power, being close to the chief minister, why will he do so? By that logic. Prafulla. Yeah.
Because as Sanjay Rawat says,
Because he knows his ground very well. He knows his ground very well. And even other parties know his ground very well.
It is not a
The
question.
issue
One by one,
is
Vivek, hold on.
very simple.
People
The-
become
the-
greedy, sir.
No. See.
People become
If there is
greedy,
nothing
people
wrong,
develop their own
if there is
egos.
nothing wrong,
Vivek Srivastava,
why
learn to listen
the
also.
MVA
Please, I'm
lost
requesting
in
you, sir.
Rajya Sabha election, the
One by
crucial
one.
seat?
BJP must have promised
Why-
something bigger.
Why
That's the
did
main
they
thing.
lose?
So he's trying to
Why
build up
did
his
they
own party,
lose
that
the
is
fifth
problem.
seat to
Why is he
BJP
not
when
entering into a
BJP
dialogue?
didn't have a single
When you are
vote
part of
in
an
MLC
organization,
election?
and if people
If
are
there is
coming to
everything
talk
is
to you,
right,
you
if
need to-
everything
Hold
is
on,
fine,
Vivek.
if there was no discontent, then why did
Discontent
Congress
is
have
Learn to
to
listen
fight
also.
for
Every
the
party.
10th seat?
Today you have Yashwant Sinha who was in BJP at one time. He's going
Please
to
try and understand. Common Shiv Sainik cannot go with the parties who have coined the term Hindu terror.
But Mr. Shinde
Common
should
Shiv
have thought-
Sainik cannot go
Vivek
with the
Srivastava, no one
parties.
tries to approach you. I understand why. But
Common
can you
Shiv
please
Sainik
listen
cannot go
for
with the
30 seconds? Can you
parties
give 30 seconds to
which have
Prafulla Ketkar?
said on
Can you
an
give 30
affidavit
seconds to
that
Prafulla
Ram
Ketkar
is a
and listen?
myth?
And then I'll come to
Please
you.
try and
Thank you.
understand. Please try and understand the character of the party.
No. Now I'll respond. First of all, every party has discontent. Even the Bharatiya Janata Party has discontent. However, when the people from your
Vivek,
party
Vivek,
are
hold
coming
on,
to
hold on.
talk to you and the MLAs to Gujarat, then why are you not talking and deliberating? That means you are enjoying power till now, and because of your ego, because of your greed, because of the false promises that the Honorable Home Minister through
No,
the
that
Chief Minister of
BJP will
Gujarat has
decide.
made to you,
See,
and the
Vivek
help that you are getting through the
Srivastava, we
Gujarat
are not
police,
discussing.
you have sold
For
out.
you, Gujarat may not
It
be
is a
part of
simple
India.
case of
For
the
us, it is
presidential
a
election
bright spot of
candidate. If it
India.
turns out to be
It
Yashwant
may be
Sinha,
your problem.
he was in
That's
BJP
why you
at
are
one
calling
time.
Gujarat,
That is
Gujarat.
also an
You
example
should
of
ask this
discontent.
question.
Hold on.
You should ask this question to
Wait,
Eknath Shinde and his
Hold on.
allies.
It's in every party.
My
Why they
only
chose
issue is
Gujarat?
Binay Singh.
It is their choice.
Binay Singh, Dushyant
Why you are
Nagar,
upset?
Dushyant Nagar,
Why you are
Ashutosh Mishra,
upset?
Vivek
Why should
Srivastava.
they-
Vivek Srivastava, Dushyant Nagar, Ashutosh Mishra. I begin with you, Dushyant Nagar. आप मेरे को कृपया ये जरा समझा दीजिए. कृपया ये समझा दीजिए आप मुझे बहुत शांति से कि कैसे आप ये बोलते हैं कि इसमें हमारी कोई गलती नहीं है. कांग्रेस, आप तो अलायंस में थे, महाविकास अघाड़ी के आप तो एक अभिन्न अंग हैं. वही तो कह रहा हूं भाई साहब, आप अभिन्न अंग हैं, थे नहीं, हैं. उस अभिन्न अंग वाले अलायंस के 35, एकनाथ शिंदे कह रहे हैं 35 विधायक आराम से सूरत के ले मेरिडियन होटल में बैठ के आराम से बैठे, बोले हम नहीं जाएंगे क्योंकि वो कहते हैं कि शिवसेना और ये MVA हिंदुत्व पे सॉफ्ट है, हम नहीं मानेंगे.
बाद में पता चलेगी. मध्य प्रदेश के विधायकों को बहका के बुलाया गया था श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी से मीटिंग कराने के लिए. रास्ते में उनको हरियाणा में एक जगह रोका गया और वहां से फिर उनको मुंबई ले जाया गया, बेंगलुरु ले जाया गया. ये षड्यंत्र करने वाले लोग हैं. पता नहीं विधायकों को क्या बहकाकर, क्या फुसलाकर, क्या लालच दे के ले जाया गया है. ये आने वाले समय में अभी चीजों को क्लियर होने दीजिए. अभी संवाद स्थापित हुआ है और हमारी पूरा मानना है कि सभी विधायक सम्मानपूर्वक वापस आएंगे. उद्धव ठाकरे जी की सरकार को, श्रीमान उद्धव ठाकरे जी को मुख्यमंत्री से हटाने का पाप कोई शिव सैनिक नहीं करेगा. इतना मुझे दृढ़ विश्वास है. जिन बाला साहेब ठाकरे ने अपना पूरा जीवन शिव सैनिकों के लिए दे दिया, शिवसेना को खड़ा करने में दे दिया, उनके माननीय मुख्यमंत्री सुपुत्र श्री उद्धव ठाकरे जी को मुख्यमंत्री पद से हटाने का पाप कोई शिव सैनिक नहीं कर सकता, मेरा ऐसा दृढ़ विश्वास है।
सुभाष झा जवाबदार, सुभाष झा आंसरिंग, सुभाष झा, one by one, peacefully. Thank you very much, Subhash झा.
No, had it not been the case, I think the learned colleague who is on the panel on behalf of Shiv Sena is patently wrong, for the simple reason that कोई पाप नहीं कर सकता। अगर इसको आप पाप मानते हैं तो आपको 55 में से 55 MLAs में से सिर्फ 22 लोगों का सिग्नेचर जो मिलता है, आपको सपोर्ट सिर्फ चीफ मिनिस्टर को सिर्फ 22 लोगों का है। 30 या 35 लोग तो
No, but that's true. No, but that's true. Mr. Jha, that's the reality. There are only 22 signs on that paper.
Absolutely.
But that's the reality, Mr. Jha. But that's the reality. Viewers, there are only 22 signatures on that paper. Hold on, Dushyant Nagar. Now let him answer. Dushyant, let him answer. Dushyant, you've spoken. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Jha.
दुष्यंत, इस बात से इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता है कि ये संकेत जो हैं वो शिवसेना के लिए बहुत अच्छे संकेत नहीं है, और ये संकेत देते हैं कि देयर इज समथिंग अमिस, कोई बहुत बड़ा उथल पुथल आपकी पार्टी में होने जा रहा है। अब वो आने वाला समय कल या परसों तक का हम सब इंतजार करें और देखिए। अब ये कहना बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, ये शिवसैनिक होने के नाते आप ये कह सकते हैं कि कोई भी शिवसैनिक पार्टी छोड़ के नहीं जा सकता। अब 30-35 लोग तो आपके गुजरात में हैं। अब गुजरात ही क्यों गए? कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि वो विवेक कह रहे हैं कि गुजरात ही
35।
अब गुजरात नहीं जाते, बगल में गोवा जाते, कर्नाटक जाते। अब जो
दुष्यंत नागर, आशुतोष मिश्रा, विवेक श्रीवास्तव, आई शो यू अंडरस्टैंड मैथमेटिक्स। दुष्यंत नागर जी, इतना तो आप इंग्लिश मेरी बहुत अच्छे से समझ पा रहे हैं। यू अंडरस्टैंड मैथमेटिक्स? आपको जमा और घटा आता है, प्लस आप हैं, तभी तो मैं कह रहा हूं आपको प्लस एंड माइनस आता है बहुत अच्छा। तो फिर आप ऐसी बात कर रहे हैं, इसलिए मैं आपको समझा रहा हूं। यू आर एन इंजीनियर, डिस्पाइट दैट मैं आपसे पूछता हूं 55 - 22 कितना होता है? हाउ मच इट इज? 55 - 22, यू टेल मी मिस्टर इंजीनियर दुष्यंत नागर, मिस्टर इंजीनियर दुष्यंत नागर, टेल मी
क्षेत्र में है
मिस्टर दुष्यंत नागर, सिंपल दुष्यंत नागर, मैथमेटिक्स आंसर। यू आर एन इंजीनियर, आई एम आस्किंग इंजीनियर दुष्यंत नागर। व्यूअर्स, 55 - 22, 55 - 22, चलिए हिंदी में पूछ लेता हूं। 55 में से 22 घटाए, कितने बचे? 55 में से 22 तो घटा दो,
जिनकी आप 35।
अच्छा चलो वो तो छोड़ो, गणित का तो जवाब दे दो।
दूंगा।
अरे 55 में से 22, 33 बचते हैं। 33
उनको बताया जा रहा है
विनय सिंह
बुलबुला फूट जाएगा।
दुष्यंत राजनाथ सिंह की तरह हाथ हिलाने से ऐसे थोड़ी अब राजनाथ सिंह बन जाएंगे। रिलैक्स,
क्यों
रिलैक्स, क्योंकि आप जो कर रहे थे मैं समझ रहा हूं। रिलैक्स विनय सिंह
पाना बदल रहे थे इंजीनियर साहब।
That's what he's saying. Yeah, Vinay Singh.
Now, what I'm saying that what was the USP of the Sena? The USP was in a single line, its quick response on issues of national interest. Their response time was,
Bala Sahab was there. There was no doubt
the
about
response time was most quick. And you remember, Aishwarya, Bala Sahab opposed Daud Ibrahim.
Undoubtedly.
And he supported Ram Mandir like anything.
Undoubtedly.
Without any hesitation or without any fear. But is this Shiv Sena that Shiv Sena? No. So that's why I say, Aishwarya, either Shiv Sena was silent or they reacted late or they opposed to the issue.
No, but Devendra Pai, is that a compromise? They did knowingly. Hold on, Dushyant Nagar, I'm not asking you, thank you. But Devendra Pai and Ashutosh Mishra, Vinay Singh, I am taking your point.
You know what is happening?
What? Hold on. Please, one by one. One by one, Dushyant.
This is just not end for the government.
One by one.
It may
One by one.
It may be an end of road for the...
I'm only saying, I'm going outside this story. Devendra Pai. But as Vinay Singh said, that earlier they were first to respond on any issue of national interest. But is that a compromise, Ashutosh Mishra? They did knowingly. When they had an alliance or went into an alliance with Congress and NCP. It is an unusual alliance. You know, I know, everyone knows. There is no doubt about it. But
they did it for
what is happening today? Is this a result of the same?
They did not do it for national interest. They did it for power.
Please explain.
They did it to become
Please.
minister.
Let him explain. Let him explain. Let him explain.
Uddhav Thackeray, Maharashtra.
Please explain, sir. Please
Between
explain.
a straight contest, there is no chance a Shiv Sena candidate can stand against Devendra Fadnavis's popularity. There is no question of national interest here. There was only self-interest, family interest
here was
here.
keeping the nation one.
Hold on here.
National interest
Keeping the nation one. The BJP is ruling most of the states of this country. Kya problem hai wahan pe? All the surrounding states of Maharashtra are ruled by the BJP and they are doing very well. This false narrative has to go. ये 90s में चलता था कि बीजेपी अनटचेबल है, कि बीजेपी को बाहर रखने के लिए हमको सत्ता में आना चाहिए. We are in 2022. We have seen 2014. We have seen 2019. Shiv Sena has ridden on the Bharatiya Janata Party's popularity.
Prafulla Ketkar, kindly analyze. No, Prafulla Ketkar, you need to analyze. They say they got into this alliance for national interest. That is what Ashutosh Mishra is saying. Yeah.
He perhaps doesn't know what Shiv Sena stands for, and he doesn't know what national interest is. Please try and understand. Shiv Sena's core politics on the ground cannot go hand in hand with NCP. Please try and understand. Go to the reality on the ground.
National interest
in Thane and in Konkan region, where that is Shiv Sena's bastion, Shiv Sena cannot go along with NCP.
It's
one by one, Ashutosh. Let him speak. The problem is you don't let others speak. Let others speak.
NCP Congress has always
let others
coined
speak.
the
Vishal
term
Nagar, your name is not
Shiv Sena opposed
Prafulla
it.
Ketkar, for God's sake.
Shiv Sena even didn't allow a match with Pakistan. Shiv Sena was the first party to raise the issue of loudspeakers. Can you imagine a party like Shiv Sena had to protect the loudspeakers?
That is what BJP today
if you don't understand
these
basic things,
viewers, let there be no doubt about it.
The basic thing
that views of Shiv Sena and NCP were completely opposite. But still they come together, and the minute you ask this question, the counter from the other side comes in. Didn't the BJP in an alliance with the PDP? That's the counter. So we'll continue this debate. But I'm taking exactly a 30-second break. Don't go anywhere. The panelists and the viewers. I'm coming back in exactly 30 seconds after this very short break. 30 seconds. Back, viewers. I'm back. And I'm directly coming. Prafulla Ketkar, I want you to complete, and Vivek Srivastava after that. But I'm requesting for the next 8 minutes, do not speak over each other. I'm going to come to all of you. Sure. I begin with you, Prafulla Ketkar and Vivek Srivastava. 45 seconds each. Prafulla, begin.
Sure.
See, my point is very simple. There is inherent contradiction at the voters level. You can't have alliance only in Vidhan Sabha or in Matoshri. The alliance has to be working on the ground. That was the case with BJP and Shiv Sena. Here you have a clear-cut contradiction. If you see Maharashtra's regions, in Thane Konkan region, Shiv Sena is in directly loggerheads with NCP. In Western Maharashtra, Congress is in loggerheads against the NCP. Here, only in North Maharashtra and Marathwada region, there is a triangular fight with Congress, BJP and Sena. In Vidarbha, again, it is Congress, NCP and Sena. Here you try to understand who is going to lose with this kind of alliance. Shiv Sainik understands this. Unfortunately, Thackeray, who was blinded with the, this thing of power, didn't understand this. And a person like, Eknath Shinde, who is connected with the ground, understands this very well.
Okay.
So, sitting in the studio, if you don't understand Vivek, what can I do?
Vivek, before you begin your answer, can you just tell the viewers, because I am getting a lot of questions. I am getting a lot of questions at only one point. Why do you hate Gujarat, Vivek? Why do you hate Gujarat? Okay. What's your problem with Gujarat, Vivek? That's what the viewers want to know. That, sir, if you can just ask, it's okay, he doesn't like BJP. It's okay, he doesn't like Modi. But what's his problem with Gujarat? Vivek, so if you could just begin your answer by telling, what's your problem?
My point is that it was Gujarat.
Vivek.
My point is that it is Gujarat. Which is acting as the...
Vivek.
Prafulla bhai, sun lo ab. Let's not have tukde here. all I want to say is because Gujarat is being used as the hotbed for horse trading. आप सुन लिया करो यार. No. Everything is India, sir, and we don't need your lecture. We don't need your lecture. You go and tackle the Agnipaths first, okay? Instead of lecturing me. So you are almost breaking the army. So now, no. I represent this nation and the constitution, and I hold on. And the left, we follow the constitution. So let's not talk. Let's not divert. Let's not divert.
You are the one.
No. Let's not divert.
Shiv Sena, the party of guns.
No, absolutely. We have ideological differences with Shiv Sena, but when it comes to the constitution, no. Listen to me. You are diverting. You are diverting now.
Which was party of goons has become a secular.
No, here we are talking about the constitution, not Shiv Sena.
Vivek.
And the honorable Prime Minister
let him
of this
speak.
country.
Thank you.
Prafullah,
Prafulla, let him speak. Prafulla, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Prafullah,
Vivek, carry on.
keep quiet
Vivek,
and be
carry on.
civilized. I know you belong to an uncivilized organization.
Vivek, come to the point. Don't waste the time. Thank you. Vivek.
Fine. Now listen to me very clearly. Okay?
Please don't
You asked me a question, I'm going to answer it. It is Gujarat which is being used as a hotbed for horse trading. The Honorable Home Minister of this nation is not upkeeping the constitutional values. It is not the question of Shiv Sena. It is the question of the constitution of this country. Gujarat police is being used to keep those MLAs. No communication is being allowed. And Mr. Ketkar, let me tell you,
Devendra Bhai.
ideologically, Shiv Sena is a small party.
Devendra
It
Bhai.
doesn't have an ideology. It started by supporting Mrs. Gandhi and the Congress.
How in the world?
Then it was against the South Indians.
You calm down,
Then it was the
Vivek.
Hindu
You calm down,
Indians.
Vivek. Devendra Bhai and Ashutosh.
I mean,
Devendra Bhai and
first of all,
Ashutosh.
I don't
30
really
seconds each.
understand this logic.
Devendra, 30
I
seconds.
don't understand this logic. What Eknath Shinde is doing, how is it against the Constitution of India? जो MLAs को ये सरकार पसंद नहीं थी, वो MLAs एकनाथ शिंदे के साथ गुजरात चले गए. वो छोटे बच्चे थोड़ी ना है कि उनको किडनैप लेकर चले जाएंगे. ये पूरा नैरेटिव सेट करना कि जो भी ये करे वो नेशन के खिलाफ है और हम करें वो सब चलता है. भाई साहब, the Congress, NCP and the Shiv Sena did not accept the people's mandate of staying out of power. The Shiv Sena only got elected because they chose Devendra Fadnavis as the chief ministerial candidate.
Hold on, I'll come to you.
The people who voted for the Sena voted because Devendra Fadnavis was the chief ministerial face. Is this not against the constitution? Is this not against democracy? Is this not against the people of Maharashtra?
So what my friend is saying here is that
Ashutosh, I'll come to you. Ashutosh Mishra, 30 seconds. Ashutosh Mishra, 30 seconds.
You know what Prafulla Ketkar forgets? He talks about what Shiv Sainiks know. What Uddhav Thackeray knew at that time that BJP, like the black widow spider, eats its partners. It has destroyed Nitish Kumar in Bihar, its allies in UP, and that's what would have happened to Shiv Sena. And now that's exactly what BJP is doing to Shiv Sena. It wants to destroy Shiv Sena, take over, and Eknath Shinde has been given this offer that you come with us, and just like Madhavrao Scindia,
they will say anything, but they will not. They would not want to introspect. I am saying,
and the point here
if something wrong goes, you have to introspect, viewers. I'm just saying one thing. If something goes wrong somewhere, the first thing you do, the first logical thing you do is introspect. Binay Singh, 10 seconds.
Ashwarya,
Only 10 minutes.
The main inspection which must be done, that this alliance was inorganic, incompatible, and it was against the sentiment of its core voters. It was not an alliance, but in fact it was a compromise with the sentiment of the voters of Shiv Sena.
दुष्यंत नागर, सिर्फ आखिरी बार 5 सेकंड आपके पास आ रहा हूँ. हर चीज कहीं गड़बड़ होती है ना, तो पहले आत्ममंथन किया जाता है. आत्ममंथन नहीं करेंगे.
गठबंधन विकास के लिए हुआ है, महाराष्ट्र को नई दिशा.
तो एकनाथ शिंदे और 35 विधायकों को कौन समझाएगा?
हजारों लाखों करोड़ का कर्जा.
55 - 22 तो बता दो. 55 - 22. इंजीनियर साहब, 55 - 22. मिस्टर इंजीनियर, 55 - 22. Can you please tell? Can you please?
35 गलत है.
कहां से गलत है?
35 की संख्या नहीं है.
22 are the signatories. Viewers, I'll only go by the paper which has been given to the assembly speaker. No, I'm just saying one thing. There is a problem, and there must be a reason behind the problem. If I believe Vivek Shrivastava, Ashutosh Mishra and Dushyant Nagar, then they need to sort out the problem. According to Eknath Shinde, he's saying, I won't go soft and compromise on Hindutva. He's only saying one thing, that Eknath Shinde and the MLAs with him will not compromise on Hindutva. That's the time I have on the burning question today. Thank you very much, friends, and thank you all of you.